Hello, my name is Jennifer Cook, and this week I chose to focus on leadership versus leaders, as well as the ethical role of leadership within a diverse group. The focus in leadership is to help communicate among the team members and achieve goals and needs of the overall team. This is not limited to the actual leader themselves. Each team member contributes to leadership through their communication skills as well as their interactions with others. In the leader role, the primary focus is going to be to bundle that energy and those ideas into an achievement of an overall success. One of the primary things that I found interesting about Chapter 10 was the born leader versus a learning leader. I personally believed that people were born to be leaders or they weren't leaders. It turns out, after reading the chapter, that people can learn to be leaders, and leadership in and of itself proves to be a learning aspect. I also perceived that leadership was a singular ideal, that there was one particular aspect or personality trait that made an individual successful as a leader. It turns out that there are multiple disciplinary attitudes that can help a leader be successful, irregardless of the focus in the group as a whole. It is challenging to step up and say there seems to be some hidden agenda behind a particular project or summary. In these situations, it's important to be able to speak your mind. And if you are unable to speak your mind, perhaps the alternative would be to pull the individual aside who you feel has a hidden objective and speak to them about it privately versus speaking to them about it in front of the group as a whole. This is something that has been challenging for me. However, I am working to resolve that matter. Communication and modification of attitude and behavior to meet the goals and needs of the team can be challenging, and there are different ways that you'll need to approach the group as a whole, especially in diverse groups, in order to be more successful as a team, as a unit. This melding of attitudes and behaviors will eventually prove the most beneficial, in that you'll have a successful outcome that is based in the perceptions and ideas of each individual without having a bias based in an individual's fundamentals. Communication is important in leadership, as that their interpersonal influence helps distribute over the whole group's information and continuance in their work, as well as how they achieve their goals. If a leader is overly focused on bias or overly focused on their ideals versus being focused on the ideals of the group as a whole, then there will be a lapse in the overall achievement and success, as well as a diverse result. In addition to all of that, it is important to remember that when attempting to avoid ethical blocks or hurdles, challenges, the primary focus needs to be on removing your personal bias and focusing on contributing to the team as an individual, and for the leader to treat each individual as if they were all exactly the same, regardless of socioeconomic status, regardless of age, regardless of sexual orientation, gender, ethnic background. All of these things can create bias, can hold bias, and it is so important as a leader that you focus only on the ideas, the situations, and how the problem can be solved across the board, in place of focusing so hard on who contributed that information. I appreciate listening to my ideas today, and I hope that this makes a difference in how you feel about interaction. Thank you.